When Cyberpunk 2077 had its first video game trailer showcasing the city of Night City, it showed a subway train full of passengers with the player character V riding in it. And I thought to myself, I'm a sucker for subway sections and trains in video games. It's a day one purchase, especially with the city that you could have the option to travel to over 50 to 70 stations across the city, with the obvious exception of Pacifica because the area is considered a combat zone / abandoned area. As we got closer to the release date, it was revealed that the subway that was promoted in the trailer will not appear as advertised. This was according to a news article from the website Game Pressure. It stated that the subway in Night City will be very limited, and we will not see scenes like in the promotional materials. The article did speculate that we will still be able to travel in trains to get around the city quickly, and the fares won't be free. You still have to pay in eddies. In the Cyberpunk tabletop game books, the subway system is called NCART, or the Night City Area Rapid Transit. According to the lore in the Cyberpunk wiki, in 2020, NCART provided maglev rail service throughout the greater Night City area, including Haywood, Westbrook, North Oak, Pacifica, South Night City, and Rancho Colorado. Although it is a private corporation, major funding is obtained from several corporate sources. As a mass transit system, NCART's record is quite good. In the period between 2019 and 2020, the corporation logged over 1 million travel miles with only 8 major accidents, 10 transit-related fatalities, and only 11 incidents of terrorist activities or other security breaches. Tickets are 25 Eurobucks per station traveled. Basically, when I mean 25 Eurobucks, I mean 25 cents Eurobucks. That's 25 cents in dollars. Still with me? Between the years 2045 and around 2075, there was a massive flood, a poison gas attack that disrupted service to the point where NCART went out of business until the events around 2077. By 2077, the Transit Corporation had become known for its fast travel, cheap and convenient availability, and its easy accessibility, both throughout all of Night City, as well for the average citizen. In the database entry of Cyberpunk 2077 within the game, NCART is the Night Corp-owned city public transportation system, which includes both metro and streetcars. There are currently 6 lines connecting all the districts, although expansions to the network have been in the works for years. Each NCART station has its own unique atmosphere and, as passengers note, unique fragrance. NCART can be dangerous at night and during rush hour, as the gangs, mercs, and regular criminals of the city see the stations in the tunnels as a natural extension of the Night City streets. On the other hand, they say you don't really know the city until you're taking a ride on the NCART. Just like in New York City, you don't really know the city until you're taking a ride on the New York City subway system. When the game was finally released, it was revealed that it was much worse than that. It was a shell of itself. The transit system was reduced to a fast traveling system similar to the direction posts in Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. You can still see the trains in the open world, but you cannot even access the station nor the platforms. You just use them to use the fast travel mechanism in the game, similar to the data term stations that are in the game for the fast travel system. But YouTuber EdPot, that's EDPOT, EdPot, who is famous for his Death Stranding Secrets video series, has discovered that you can access the stations through your motorcycle. Apparently, if you're on foot, you cannot access these stations, but if you use a motorcycle, you can go through the barrier and access the stations. What he discovered was a station in Corpo Center that was a shell of what it's supposed to be. The station under Corpo Center is dark and you can barely see without light, but it has advertisements, it has a basic platform, and it has a rail track that's similar to a monorail station, like it mentioned in the game database and in the books. And people wandering around waiting for a train that will never come because the tunnel isn't even fully constructed. So I fire up the game and see if this works on the other stations.
Organic food continues to be a major cause of illness. Do not eat from unlabeled cases. A pistol for walking in the city, or a rifle for a trip out of town. Military. Protection for everyone.
What?
This is the century. This is the century. This is the century to win your immortality.
And it does. And you can exit the bike and walk around the station, but you cannot access the actual platform. and the platform area is just a concrete enclosure. In some stations, you can access that area because it's protected by full-height turnstiles, so you cannot even access it. You can't even walk into that station. I can barely see the stations unless I increase the brightness and contrast setting to see that those are really entranceways to the platform. In some areas, you can actually access those areas, but you cannot open them. Now, I've mentioned that this does work for almost every station because this does not work in the NCART station near V's Mega Building, as the elevator won't even allow me to ride my motorcycle in it. Based on this footage, the train systems that are originally created for players to ride in, and basically the train systems that were originally created for players to ride in, such as for Grand Theft Auto 3, 4, and 5, you will be able to see and experience the ride from the outside and look at the train as it goes through the tunnels and the scenery outside the city. You will still pay a fare, like a 1 or 2 eddies per ride, and the train will appear every 5 minutes. And the trains would look like this. Basic but functional. Not the subway trains featured in the promotional picture. The mere ability to have a basic subway system in the game and have random encounters where you can prevent perps committing crimes against innocent civilians and hearing random dialogue from passengers while you wait for a train or ride in one would have improved the immersion factor of the game. It could help the game a lot in its ratings. Instead, we got a shell of what would have been a proper Cyberpunk themed subway system, further proving that the game was unfinished. And CD Projekt Red would admit the honest truth and tell us upfront that the game needed a lot more time, and due to the Corona-chan crisis, it would be impossible to finish the game and complete in 2020. And they would just go back to the original design protocol. It's done when it's done. The game will be done when it's done. Cyberpunk 2077, despite its bugs, it's really fun. It's atmospheric, the story is well written, the characters are well designed. At the same time, the game needed at least 1 more year of development. And if it did, I would be making videos about how the Night City subway. I would be making all sorts of videos about the Night City subway, even a long ride through, in just one video. So that's all I got to say in this video. So please, if you like this video, please give it a like, comment, share, and subscribe and ring the doorbell for all notifications. And I'll see you in the next video.